Ever just find yourself online, wading through like tons of information, and suddenly one thing just leaps out?
Yeah, it's like your brain just knows what to zoom in on sometimes.
Totally. And today, we're going to dive into why certain things online, certain product designs, are so good at catching our eye. We're using some really interesting material you shared.
Right, and it really boils down to this psychological idea called the von Restorff effect.
Von Restorff Effect. Okay, what's the core idea there?
Well, basically, it's that anything that stands out from its surroundings, anything different, is much more likely to be noticed and, crucially, remembered.
Okay, different equals memorable.
Exactly. Think about maybe a big Bollywood dance number. You've got all the background dancers in the same outfits, right?
Like a uniform sea of people.
Precisely. And then the main stars come out, maybe in vibrant, totally different costumes. Where does your eye go?
Straight to the stars. You can't help it. That contrast.
That contrast is the von Restorff effect in action, and there are some pretty solid reasons why our brains work like this.
Yeah, the material mentioned a few things. What's the first one?
So one big reason is, well, our brains seem wired to spot novelty, anything unusual.
Like an evolutionary thing. Pay attention to what's different.
Could be. It might signal something important, good or bad. Then there's our attention span, which is, limited.
Definitely limited.
So when something stands out, it's like a mental shortcut. It pulls our focus right to the thing that's distinct, saving us cognitive effort.
Okay, saves brain power. And there was a third point, too, about emotion.
Yes. That distinctiveness can sometimes trigger a little flash of surprise, maybe even delight. And that emotional tag, it helps cement the memory.
Interesting. So Kai's makes it stick.
You got it. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to see how this effect, this von Restorff thing, is actually used in the digital products you interact with every single day.
Right, how designers use it to sort of guide our attention.
Exactly. Guide your focus, achieve certain goals, sometimes very subtly. We want to unpack how that digital world you navigate is designed to direct you.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get practical then. Where's the most obvious place we see this online?
Well, one of the biggest areas has to be calls to action. The buttons, the links, the things they actually want you to click.
Ah, right. The do this now part.
Exactly. And just making those visually different can make a huge difference in whether you notice them. Take Telegram, for instance.
Okay, the messaging app.
Their button for starting a new chat. It's that floating circle, usually blue with a plus sign.
Yeah, it sits on top of your chat list.
Right. It's always there as you scroll, and its shape, that circle, is totally different from the rectangular chat previews. It just stands out.
It really does. It's like, here I am, start something new.
That's the idea. Or think about Hotstar, the streaming service. On the profile screen, when you go to add a new profile, that little plus icon is just plain. It doesn't have a picture or graphic like the existing profiles usually do.
Ah, so the lack of a graphic makes it stand out.
Precisely. It's the odd one out among all the personalized profile pics. It subtly draws your eye to the add function. It works because it's different from the pattern.
Clever. And then there's the classic e-commerce example, right? Like on Flipkart.
Oh, absolutely. The Buy Now button.
It's almost always some bright, loud color that doesn't match the rest of the page design.
Totally intentional. You've got product pictures, descriptions, reviews, all this other stuff. And then, bam, bright orange or green button.
Stands right out.
They want to make that crucial step as obvious and easy as possible. Reduce any friction right at the point of decision. Make the purchase option visually dominant.
So it guides you straight to the checkout. Makes sense. Okay, so distinct buttons. What's another technique?
Another really powerful one is animation. Movement. Even really subtle motion catches the eye.
Our eyes are just drawn to movement, aren't they?
Instinctively, think about those banner carousels you see at the top of sites like Flipkart.
Yeah, the ones that slide across showing different deals.
They don't just sit there, they move. They cycle through automatically. That movement, plus the fact they're usually right at the top, makes them hard to ignore.
It's like a constant little, hey, look over here.
Exactly. Or Zomato, the food delivery app. They do something neat when you apply a discount.
Oh yeah, what's that?
When you put in a code and it works, there's often a little animation. Maybe the price visibly changes with a flourish, or there's a little graphic emphasizing the savings.
Ah, so it's not just showing the new price, it's celebrating it visually.
Right. It adds a bit of positive reinforcement. That little visual confirmation feels good and makes the saving more memorable. It uses animation to highlight a positive outcome.
That little bit of delight, like you mentioned earlier. And what about something smaller, like shopping carts? Amazon.
Good example. Often when you add an item to your cart on Amazon, you'll see a tiny animation.
Like the card icon wiggles or something.
Yeah, maybe it wiggles, or the number indicating how many items are in there increases with a little pop. It's very subtle.
But it confirms your action visually.
Exactly. It's immediate feedback, highlighting that the number changed, confirming your item was added, all using a tiny bit of motion.
Okay, so unique buttons and eye-catching animations. What was the third method from the material?
The third one is all about text formatting. Just changing how text looks can signal importance.
Like using bold or italics.
That's part of it, but also other visual cues. Think about those new tags you see everywhere.
Oh yeah, on new product listings or features.
Right. That simple tag, often in a different color or shape, maybe a little bubble, instantly marks that item as different, as recent. It stands out from the regular text or listings.
It definitely works. Your eye catches it when you're scanning. What about email?
Email is a great example. Think about your inbox. How do you know which emails are unread?
They're usually bold, right? The sender or the subject line.
Almost universally, yeah. That bold text is the visual differentiator. It tells your brain immediately this needs attention, separating it from the already read messages. It's simple but incredibly effective visual prioritization. It's such a basic thing, but it helps manage everything. And Flipkart came up again here with categories.
Yeah, they might use like little text badges on their category pictures.
So on the image for electronics or fashion?
Exactly. You might see a brightly colored badge layered on top saying up to 50% off or clearance sale.
Ah, highlighting a deal within that whole category.
Right. So as you're browsing the main category list, those badges make certain sections visually jump out, signaling there's a special offer inside. It differentiates those categories.
Okay, so wrapping this part up, it sounds like these online products are constantly using this von Restorff effect, making key buttons visually distinct,
Using those animations, even subtle ones, to pull our focus.
and even just changing up the text format to signal what's important or new.
Absolutely. And the key thing across all of these is that they work by making something different. Different color, different shape, adding motion, changing the text style.
It's about guiding your attention effectively. Right, guiding it without necessarily being, loud or obnoxious about it. It's often quite subtle.
This has been really fascinating, actually, seeing the psychology behind the design choices we see every day.
It changes how you look at things, doesn't it?
It really does. Which leads to the big question for you, the listener. Now that you know about these techniques, how might you see your own online interactions differently?
Yeah, what other little design tweaks might you start noticing? Things that are maybe influencing where you look, what you click on, what you remember?
It's definitely worth paying more attention to as you browse and use apps. See these principles in action.
For sure. And hey, if this whole area sparks some interest, if you want to go deeper into usability and psychology in design, the material mentioned a few great starting points.
Oh yeah, the book recommendations.
Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug, a classic. Also, Seductive Interaction Design by Steven Anderson and Laws of UX by John Yablonsky.
Great resources for anyone wanting to explore more.
Absolutely. Hopefully this deep dive gave you a few aha moments about why things are designed the way they are.
And maybe makes you think, what else is subtly shaping your digital experience? Definitely something to keep an eye out for.